Ladies and gentlemen, we know how imbalanced juries have been in this country for centuries, and nothing has ever been done about it. Nothing. Well, this story that I'm about to present to you comes from NBC News, April 20th, 2020. Supreme Court rules jury verdicts must be unanimous. Two states, Louisiana and Oregon, allowed defendants to be convicted on divided votes. So look like they won't be able to do that anymore. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled Monday that jury verdicts in trials for serious crimes must be unanimous. Two states, Louisiana and Oregon, allowed defendants to be convicted on divided votes. Monday's decision tossed out the conviction and life sentence of a Louisiana man who was found guilty of murder by a 10-2 jury vote. He will likely get a new trial. Louisiana recently changed its law to require ununanimous verdicts, but the change did not apply to some previous convictions. Non-unanimous verdicts were still permitted under Oregon's law. However, the state's attorney general told the court that striking down the practice would invalidate hundreds of convictions. But on Monday, she called the decision good news. It's an embarrassment to our otherwise progressive state that we are the only state in the country with a law in our Constitution that allows criminal convictions without a unanimous jury, the Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum said. All right, so the ruling will affect defendants whose appeals are still working their way through the courts. For others whose cases were resolved earlier, a new round of lawsuits would be required to determine if the decision would invalidate their convictions too. Okay, so we are heartened that the courts has held once and for all the promise of the Sixth Amendment fully applies in Louisiana, rejecting any concept of second-class justice, said Ben Cohen. In light of COVID-19 crisis, it is essential that prisoners who are wrongfully incarcerated be given the chance for release as soon as possible. By a 6-3 vote, the court said the Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial requires ununanimous verdicts. Wow. So, they're just bringing this out now. If they had to apply this nationwide, do you know how many people they would have to let go? The jails would damn near be empty. The majority opinion by Justice Neil Gorsuch, um, traced the requirement back to English common law. He said the nation's founders believed verdicts must be unanimous and noted that the Supreme Court recognized the requirement as early as 1898. Yeah, they did. And guess what? They ignored it all this time. Do you know how many of our men are sitting in prison on verdicts that were not unanimous? But this just goes to show you how shady America really is. They knew this all along, and they threw countless people in jail on verdicts that were not unanimous, and still doing it. Mm-mm-mm. The non unanimous system adopted by Louisiana and Oregon, Gorsuch said, had their roots in racial prejudice, allowing white jurors to make sure the votes of a few African Americans on juries meaningless. Now you learning they were never supposed to do that. But you know what? That just goes to show you America don't follow their own rules. They'll have things in their constitution and ignore it when it's an inconvenience. That's what it just shows you. If it don't seem to fit into the scheme of things as they see it, then it's ignored. Mm-mm-mm. Monday's rulings reversed the Supreme Court 1972 decision allowing non unanimous verdicts to continue in Louisiana and Oregon. Gorsuch said it was a badly fractured ruling that relied on the deciding vote of then Justice Lewis Powell, who said the Sixth Amendment did not fully apply to the states. You see that? Oh, we got a constitution, but these states over here, it don't apply to them. They can do whatever they want. This place is a joke. This place is a damn joke. And they want you to take them and their laws in this system seriously and respect it too. What a joke. 3 members of the court dissented from Monday's decision: conservative John Roberts, Samuel Alito, and Elena Kagan. They said the 1972 decision should be upheld because Oregon and Louisiana have relied on it to conduct their criminal trials. And yeah, and they relied on it to make sure they would get convictions on Black people. We know why they kept it, okay, to ensure that people in our community would go to jail more than anyone else. The ruling imposes a potentially crushing burden on the courts and criminal justice system of those states, Alito wrote for the dissenters. Mm-mm-mm. So, whenever it goes to a trial and there's a jury, if the verdict that they come up with is ununanimous, they didn't all fully agree on it, they're not supposed to be convicting. But we know they don't do that in America. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So you got that in your Sixth Amendment, and all this time you've been ignoring it. You know, everybody behind bars that got there because of a jury that was not unanimous, y'all should be appealing your case. You have every right to now sue the prosecutor and anybody that was involved in putting you behind bars, and the jury decision was not unanimous. Wow. Wow. you know, their constitution might as well be written in crayon at this point. They don't follow nothing. They'll break every law just to get us, and have no problem doing it either. But, ladies and gentlemen, please tell me what you think about this ruling from the Supreme Court. So, from now on, if there is a jury by trial especially in states where they said it was okay for ununanimous juries to put non-unanimous juries to put people in jail, like Louisiana and Oregon. Now they are finding out they can't do that. I bet you there are thousands of people sitting in their prisons right now that got there from non-unanimous votes. Mm-mm-mm. And said they'll just put a few black folks or Hispanics on the jury and just make their votes meaningless if they vote against the rest of the jurors. Mm-mm-mm. And it should never have been that way. But y'all, please tell me what you think. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.